Now, there are a number of characteristics of a feature article which are important to remember. And the first one is there is really no formal structure to it. Apart from what I've sort of just mentioned there with the structure I mentioned before, where there's a headline and a short opening statement, that's pretty much it. It follows the same structure as any other form of argument, really, which makes it good and bad. All right, it's good in the sense that it allows you to communicate ideas in your own way and to be able to do it through being able to tell a story, which means you can take a little bit longer to get to the point than maybe what you would in an essay. The downside of that is there's plenty of room for you to go off into tangents, and there's also a possibility that the message may get lost because people get bored halfway through. Whatever your position or whatever you believe is the case, it is ordered by argument rather than events, so it's not a chronological order. So you don't have to say this happened at this point, this happened at that point. You can just order it according to whatever needs to be said, and then you can jump back and forth in time. That's fine, you can do that. And it's just in a way that really gets the point across in the strongest possible way, as long as there is a cohesive argument going the whole way through. It provides a background. So usually it will give you some sort of background about what the article or the article is about. It will link to statistics and sources. It will give analogies to it as well. So they won't just explain things in terms of literally saying it's like this, it's like that. They'll actually give some more figurative analogies to compare it to other events. So for instance, if you've got a modern news story about, for instance, a politician, they may reference something that happened in biblical times. They may refer to something that happened 200 years ago as an example and as a similar point of view, which allows the reader to associate whatever this the author is talking about with something that happened 200 years ago that's well known and people can connect it to that. They're circular, so it finishes where it begins. So they try and often take the argument full circle and write in a way where their introduction is pretty much wrapped up by their conclusion. So they almost ask questions at the beginning and then answer them by the end. And finally, they're conversational. So like I'm sort of speaking to you now, they are speaking directly to their audience. They're speaking directly to you. They're often referring to them as you, we, us, or our as well. Okay, so they're pretty much forming the basis of being someone who's having a direct conversation with you. And it's a personal, it's a one-on-one form of communication. So no matter what you're talking about, and if you're to write one or if you're to respond to one, you need to think about that effect and what it actually means to have a one-on-one form of communication, albeit even one that's just written down, and how it gets you on side emotionally, how it gets you on side through its use of language, its use of description, how it actually puts and how it actually words the issue, the idea, the subject that it's referring to.